Good, happy Wednesday morning, September 16, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this morning, so let's begin. First up, 2 more Granite Staters die of COVID-19, health officials say. 34 new cases confirmed in New Hampshire. And now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 data information for New Hampshire. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that for all of you. Right now, there are 7,748 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 6,601,337 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 438 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 722 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 637 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 32. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 1999. Now let's take a look at these 3 charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases. In the purple, total current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. The red, deaths, and blue, recovered. And now let's take a look at this chart here, age group of cases. Female and male of cases, and risk information. And now let's take a look at this chart here, infections. Hospitalizations, and deaths. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here. Your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, difficult breathing, chills, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 updates. Manchester restaurant closes for 2 days after employee tests positive for COVID-19. Cleaning crew hired to deep clean building. An employee of the Puritan Back Room in Manchester has tested positive for COVID-19. The restaurant has decided to close for Tuesday and Wednesday. The employee that tested positive is a bartender that had worked during the day on September 12th. The employee is asymptomatic but had close contact with someone else that was asymptomatic but tested positive for COVID-19. The restaurant is requiring all employees that had close contact with that employee who tested positive provide a negative test before returning to work. A cleaning crew that will use an EPA certified hospital-grade disinfectant throughout the building. Cafe Loren in Manchester will also be closed for some time while the staff gets routine COVID-19 tests and has not announced when they are expected to reopen. AG Flag Football League fined $2K for allowing teams outside New England to compete in tournaments. AG's office says teams from Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin competed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Cherise Leclerc.
Protect your home and family for years to come with a new roof from Queen City Roofing. The entire crew takes pride in giving the best customer service. Excellent job site clean.
New England flag football now paying a $2,000 fine stemming from a tournament at the Seacoast United Sports Complex in Epping. The event involving dozens of teams, but it's those from outside New England that caught the attention of the Attorney General's office.
We were in touch with the organizer and informed him that he could not have any teams from outside of New England, and despite that advice and from our office, he had at least 8 teams from outside of New England come and compete in that event.
4 of those teams were from Ohio, and 2 each were from Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. The AG's office reached out to league president Austin Bradshaw on August 19th, 2 days before the tournament, to make sure he knew the teams from outside New England could not participate. News 9 reached out to Mr. Bradshaw the same day. This is what he told us at the time after his call with the AG.
We have to reach out to those teams, so they're a little bummed. We have to redo the schedule, but, like I said, it is what it is. We have to follow all the rules and do what's right for everybody.
The AG's office says that's not what happened, though.
He could have been fined $1,000 for each one of those teams, as having each team here was its own individual violation.
They say Bradshaw has already reached out to them and is sending a check for the fine. We reached out to him for comment, but have not heard back. The Attorney General's office says so far they have tied no cases back to that tournament. In Concord, I'm Cherise Leclerc, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Stock features flat as investors await Fed meeting. U.S. stock features were little changed in early morning trading on Wednesday as investors arrayed for comments from the Federal Reserve later in the day. City to pay $12 million to Breonna Taylor's family. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
And yet another major breaking story today, this one in the deadly police shooting of Breonna Taylor. 6 months after she was shot and killed by police, serving a no-knock warrant, Taylor's family has now reached a $12 million wrongful death settlement with the city of Louisville. It also comes with a list of police reforms and what's next now in the criminal case. ABC's Alex Perez from Louisville tonight.
Tonight, one of the largest settlements involving police excessive force in U.S. history. Louisville agreeing to pay $12 million in the wrongful death lawsuit brought by Breonna Taylor's family.
I'm deeply, deeply sorry for Breonna's death.
Today's announcement comes 6 months after plainclothes officers barged into the 26-year-old EMT's apartment at night on a no-knock search warrant. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who told investigators he never heard police announce themselves, says he fired a warning shot with his legally owned gun. Police shooting back, killing Taylor. An officer was also struck. For months, protests across the country demanding justice for Breonna. Today, with the criminal case against the 3 officers is still pending, Breonna's mother saying the fight for justice is not over.
We need charges brought against these officers. I'm still working for getting justice from her, and it's just, for me, it'll never be over.
And David, several police reform and accountability measures were also part of this settlement. A grand jury could hear evidence in the criminal case as early as this week. David?
All right, Alex Perez reporting from Louisville tonight. Alex, thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And thank you for joining us for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.